Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome in. Sharing this out with folks. Hope everybody's doing well this evening. Good evening, welcome in. Thanks for joining. If you just hopped in, appreciate it. I'm live on TikTok and on YouTube again this week. My name is Mike. I'm a travel agent that specializes in all things Disney, and we're going to have some Disney fun tonight. I have some questions that a few folks have asked me that I will answer, and then we've got some games to play. Blake, how are you? Good to see you. Got your daughters with you again, Blake? Awesome. Get your pen and paper ready. We're going to finish out the Rankums tonight, and then I've got another game to play. That one you won't necessarily need paper and pen. But get your daughters engaged. I want them to play too, Blake. I want to hear their answers tonight. And they can have separate answers. They don't have to come up with the same answer. Tina, welcome in. How are you? Good to see you tonight. Started this up a couple minutes early. Going to wait for some folks to join. Blake, I've got answers to your questions that you submitted. Tina, it is a great day to be alive. Absolutely. It's Taco Tuesday. I didn't have any tacos, but it's still Taco Tuesday nonetheless. So if you're joining me on TikTok, welcome in. Thanks for hopping in. My name is Mike. I'm a travel agent that specializes in Disney. We have these fun Tuesday nights where I answer questions that folks have, cover any news or rumors, and then we play some games. And I've got a few interactive games tonight that looking forward to doing. So hopefully you'll stick around and play with us. Grab pen and paper. If you have it handy, do that. Tina, you had cube steak and asparagus. I made breakfast muffins tonight that pretty easy to make, really. It's in cupcake tin. I put the cupcake paper down. Tater tots, and then I put some shredded cheddar cheese, some bacon, crumbled up bacon, and then scrambled up eggs. Pour that in. You bake it at 350 degrees for 20 minutes, maybe 22 minutes, and good to go. So yeah, those are good. Cece, hello, welcome in. Good to see you. I've got your questions or question that you submitted here ready to go. Disneyac, welcome in. How are you? Good to see you. Homemade tachos, exactly, Tina. So I have, while we're waiting for others to join, I have a Blackstone, the smooth top cooks top grill, and I've had it for like a year and a half maybe, but I'd never used it. And partly because I hadn't bought a propane tank, I guess mainly because I hadn't bought a propane tank. So finally early this spring or late this spring, I decided I was getting the tank and we're going to start to use it. It's got the tank, and of course, sitting out in the winter, even though I had a cover over it, a canvas type cover over it, there was still some rust on the grill top. So I had to do all the work to prep that and clean that out. And so we've used it probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. And I think I've made burgers twice, pork chops, steak once or twice. And I totally went out of my comfort zone on Sunday, and I made chicken fried rice on it. And you guys will laugh at me, but that's the first time I've ever made scrambled eggs in my life before, doing it on the Blackstone for the chicken fried rice. But I was so excited. You make the rice ahead of time. It's, just the minute rice that you steam or whatever. So I made that Sunday morning, put it in the fridge. And so I tell you, the people that are doing like at Benihana's or Kobe Steakhouse or Tepanito down at Epcot, where they got all this stuff going all at one time, man, I salute them, because I was stressed over the fact that I had rice cooking. I put my veggies over here, and then my chicken over here. And I was freaking out that I was going to burn one of them, and one of them wouldn't be ready in time. And then I did the scrambled eggs last. I kind of made a circle in the middle of the rice to crack the eggs and put them in there so they didn't go all over the place. And made that, and it turned out great. If there were a couple of things I would do differently, and I will do next time differently, more eggs, probably 2 more. I only did 3 eggs. I'd probably do 2 more eggs. And then the veggies that I did, there were a couple bags of frozen. It was a combination pea and carrots. And while I don't like peas, I'll eat them and that kind of thing. Lori picked out every doggone pea before she ate anything. So I'm like, all right, fine. Next time we'll just probably do carrots. And I think next time I might do, instead of frozen cube carrots, I might get like the raw shredded carrots and throw that on the grill and cook that up. But otherwise, I thought it was great. Really enjoyed it. Tasted great. Tyler and Kennedy and Briggs came over, had dinner with us. So I made a massive amount. I mean, I knew I needed a third of the grill for the rice and a third for the chicken and a third for the veggies. I dropped that rice down and started to spread out. I'm like, oh my God, it's taking up half the grill. So I had to kind of push it over as best I could, but I was pretty proud of myself for that. That was fun. I can't wait to do something like that again. I almost came home. That was Sunday. I almost came home from work yesterday and thought about doing breakfast on the grill, making scrambled eggs and hash browns. And what else was I going to do? Oh, with the scrambled eggs, I've got chopped up ham. I was going to throw that in and do kind of a ham scram thing, but I ended up just last night. What did I do for dinner last night? Oh, we went out and had burgers somewhere instead. So anyway, all right. So welcome in. If you're joining me on TikTok, thanks for hopping in. My name is Mike. I am a travel agent that specializes in all things Disney. This is our Tuesday night Park Life Live that I do on TikTok and on the YouTube channel. I answer questions that anybody has, and I cover any news, late-breaking information, any rumors. If there's brand new promotions, I'll share that information. And then we play some interactive games. And so I want to get through the questions and info so we can get to the games. Disneyac, you have an errand to run. Okay, yeah, hopefully you'll come back in time for the games. If you're here to play and you're going to play the games with me, get pen and paper. We're going to finish. Last week we did ranking of rides from worst to first at Magic Kingdom and Epcot. Tonight we're going to do Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom. I've got a third rank 'em. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. And then I got another game we're going to play. So I want to leave plenty of time for that. So Blake, you are up first. Helen, welcome in. Good to see you. I've got your questions that you asked that we'll talk about here in a moment. So Blake's up first. Blake, your first question was, any word on when Pirates Lounge will open? So I don't know. You probably won't be able to see it very well, but I had originally wrote down. Oh, you can't see it, so never mind. I did this yesterday. The answer was late 2025. That was the answer. That was the answer as of 7 o'clock this morning. As of 9 o'clock this morning, the answer was no longer late 2025. They announced today that the new Pirates Lounge at Magic Kingdom will open on August 29th. So Blake, I think that falls in line with your trip, if I remember right. So hey, Dina, welcome in. August 29th, the Pirates Lounge opens at Magic Kingdom across from the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Reservations open up on August 14th, Blake. So August 14th is a week from this Thursday. My guess would probably be at 7 a.m. Eastern, maybe 6 a.m. Eastern. The reservations will open up for the Pirate Lounge. You might want to try to get reservations as soon as that opens, because I'm sure it's going to be packed in there for at least a handful of months, I'm guessing. So I was so excited, Blake, when I saw the news this morning come out that the Pirate Lounge was opening up August 29th. And then I double checked on reservations opens on the 14th of August. So there is your first question. I was happy to have good news to share with you. The second question that Blake asked is, when does Spaceship Earth close for refurbishment? This one I don't have good news for you, Blake, because it's closing on August 25th for a lengthy refurbishment with a reopening date of late 2025. So closing August 25th. I would imagine it's going to be a 3 to maybe 4 month closure while they do a significant amount of refurbishment in that ride. No massive changes. I mean, if you think back before COVID, there was talk about them completely redoing Spaceship Earth ride. That's not in the works here. This is just routine maintenance, probably working on some of the animatronics and things like that. But it will close on August 25th, reopen late of 2025. So you'll miss out on Spaceship Earth this trip around, Blake, but you will get the lounge at Magic Kingdom. Yeah, I know. Never say never. Something could happen and they postpone it. But the fact that they've already announced the closing date leads me to believe that's probably pretty locked in. So you get one, you just don't get them both, I guess. You get the lounge, but not the ride. And you do have the Spaceship Earth lounge is for 21 and older, so that won't work out. Well, word for you, Blake, but not for your girls. So anyway, and speaking of that, Blake, if I'm not mistaken, and if I am, you can tell me, but I believe 2-3 weeks ago, one of your daughters had a birthday. So if that's true, happy birthday. Hope you had a great time. And I'm sure you don't look a day older. Okie doke. Cece, you are up next with your question. I got a peek over here on TikTok. People that have joined in, welcome in if you're here on TikTok. I don't see any questions asked. So, okay, good. CC had asked, this is a great question. Perfect. Good. Thanks. Any guess as to where Darth Vader meet and greets will be once Launch Bay closes? So this is at Hollywood Studios. If you're familiar with the park at all, when you walk in the gates, go down the main strip, you have the first right that you can take, and that's where you go to get to Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster and the new Villain Show. If you go a little bit past that, you get into the circular courtyard, and you have the Chinese Theater in front of you. You look to the right. That is where the animation courtyard is. That's where the newly reopened Little Mermaid musical show is. That's where they do Disney Junior, although right now for the summer, it's a special dance party, which my 20-month-old grandson had an amazing time in that. I'll replay that in my head till the day I die. They have some character meet and greets, Doc McStuffins, I think Donald Duck, Daisy Duck, Chip and Dale, to name a few. And then if you keep going in underneath into the Launch Bay buildings there, they have Chewbacca, Darth Vader, and BB-8 meet and greets. And so that whole area, except for Little Mermaid, that show is going to stay open. Everything else, yeah, thanks, Jules. Cool Kids Summer. Everything else is closing for a redesign of that whole area back there. And so Cece's basically asking any guess as to where the Darth Vader meet and greet will be, assuming there still will be one when they close that courtyard. Anthony, with us being officially in double digits, what should I start preparing for? Hold that thought. We'll talk about that in a minute. So, Cece, I appreciate the way you asked the question is any guess, because that's really all it is at this point in time. And this is my guess. And I know, Cece, from your answers when we play games that you know Star Wars probably better than anybody. It's better than me for sure. But my guess would be Darth Vader meet and greet would be over by Star Tours, because Darth Vader doesn't really fit in Galaxy's Edge, especially if you have Kylo Ren walking around over there at times, which happens. So Darth Vader to me doesn't make a lot of sense being over there. So I would think Darth Vader would be over by Star Tours, maybe where they used to do the Jedi. I can't think what it was called, but the little Jedi thing with guests, with kids. So that would be my guess as to where that meet and greet might be. Brian, hey, how are you? Good to see you. Mark, welcome in. Good to see you. So So that would be my guess, and it's strictly a guess, CC. Let's hope that there's still a Darth Vader meet and greet when they close the launch bay. I can't imagine they do away with it though. Mark, it's good to see you, buddy. Jedi school training. Thank you, Anthony. I was having a mental block there. Helen then had a follow-up question, same question, but what about Chewbacca? And you might as well say, what about BB-8? So Chewbacca could go either place, Galaxy's Edge or Star Tours. BB-8 could, I think BB-8 goes Galaxy's Edge. My guess is that probably have Chewbacca over a Galaxy's Edge as well. So I think there will be those meet and greets, and that's my guess as to where they'll be at. So CC, I don't know if you have any thoughts about that. If you had a guess, if anybody else had a guess as well. Brian, you're down in Missouri. You down in the Ozarks? Love going to the Ozarks. We used to go there every year when the kids were little. Love that vacation. I remember the very first time we ever went. So a lot of you guys know my idea of a vacation now is going to Disney, and you're on the go all the time. First year we ever went to the Ozarks, my wife went there as a kid with her family all the time. I had no idea what to expect. And, you know, we get to this resort with cabins right on the lake. There's not great cell service. I was like, good Lord, we're here for a whole week. What am I going to do with myself for a whole week? I'm not a fan of swimming in lakes when I know there are creatures bigger than me in the lake. I like to be able to see my feet. So swimming pools are great. So I was like, good Lord, what am I going to do with myself? But man, that week of just like turning off the rest of the world and relaxing, spending time in the hammock, swimming in the pool, watching the kids play, watching the kids fish, playing games at night, watching the sunset. Man, it was amazing. And so we went, I think, so my middle son is 30 now. I think we started going when he was 2, and we probably went for at least 15 years straight. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, Brian, it is beautiful, isn't it? Man, love it. Mark, I know you live in Missouri. Are you close to St. Louis, or are you somewhere else? I can't remember. And you don't have to say if you don't want to. Oh, wow, Brian, you got 11 acres. That's amazing. So anyway, okay. So CC, again, I don't know. Did you have any thoughts on where you think Darth Vader might go? I'm curious. Okay, St. Louis area. Perfect. Yep. Osage Beach. Brian, that's awesome. We were on the, let me think about this. Gosh, in this little town of Laurie, Laurie, real close to the toll bridge is where we would always go to. Lone Oak Point was the name of the resort. That was the resort my wife's parents always went to. Maybe by Star Tours. See, that's my feelings, CC, for Darth Vader as well. All right. Helen also asked, real quick pause. If you joined late and you're going to hang out and want to play games with us, and Anthony, I haven't forgotten about you, get pen and paper. We're going to finish the ranking of rides at the parks. I've got a 3rd ranking game. I'm not going to tell you what that one is yet. And then I've got a 4th game for us to play. The 4th one, you won't need pen and paper, but you will to do the ranking. So grab pen and paper real quick while I'm wrapping up these questions. And Anthony, we're going to talk about the double-digit thing too. Helen asked if there are any bonus deals signing up for the Disney credit card. So I want to first say, thanks, Brian. Good talking to you too. Enjoy your time down there. Chase Bank is who issues that credit card. So any of the promotions of things, they manage that. The rewards, all that stuff, that's all managed by Chase. So I went out to their website this morning, within the last 24 hours. And they offer 2 different credit cards. Their Premier Visa Disney Chase credit card has a $49 annual fee, which in all terms, $49 annual fee isn't horrible. But with that, currently the promotion is you get a $400 credit after spending your first $1,000 in the first 3 months. So if you were to get the credit card and book a Disney trip, you're going to spend $1,000, right out of the gate, but get $400 back. That's incredible. I mean, $400 after spending $1,000, that's a 40% discount. I know a lot of people like to go buy the gift cards at Sam's or Target with the red card and they get 5% back. And I'm not, 5% is better than nothing, right? But if you don't have the Visa Chase Disney credit card, it's a really good way to maximize your savings. So for that Premier card, $400 credit after spending your first $1,000 in the first 3 months. You get 0% interest for 6 months on Disney trips that you book. This is all Premier card right now. 5% back towards Disney dollars on purchases with Disney, Disney Plus, Hulu, or ESPN Plus. 2% cash back, or it's not cash back, but points for Disney dollars. 2% back on gasoline, groceries, restaurants, and any Disney locations. And then 1% back on all other purchases. So, I mean, good gravy. You tack on the $400 that you get back, plus those percentages you get on Disney dollars. It's a really good deal, even for a $49 annual fee. Now, they do offer a Visa Disney card that does not have an annual fee. That one right now, you get $200 credit after you spend $500 in the first 3 months. And then on that one, you just get 1% on all purchases. There's no 2 and 5%, but 1% on those purchases. So either way, it's really good deal to get quote unquote cash back that goes towards Disney dollars for you to use on future trips. It basically turns into like a Disney gift card, if you will. You'll order a redemption card. It's the same size as a credit card. And then whenever you want to transfer your earned Disney dollars over to the redemption card, you do. And then you can just use it at Disney resort, Disney restaurants, Disney merchandise shops. Any of those places will take the redemption card. Works really well. But again, the credit cards are offered through Chase Bank. So you'll always want to make sure you check the Chase website for whatever the current deals are. What I shared with you now is what I saw this morning or last night. Those deals could be temporary and they may renew and that sort of thing. So you always want to check. Okay. Those are questions. I'm going to go over a couple quick things and then Anthony, we're getting your double digit thing. And then we're playing our games. Quick timelines on things. I know last year, D23, they announced all of the new lands coming. The Central Americas at Animal Kingdom, Monsters Inc. land at Hollywood Studios, Cars Land, and Villains Land at Magic Kingdom. Just thought I'd share real quickly. At Animal Kingdom, the Tropical Americas, that area is going to be called Pueblo Esperanza. That's going to be the village, is what the name of it is. And that is on target to open in 2027. Where at in 2027, I don't know that yet. That's way too far out, but that is slotted for 2027. Monsters Inc. land at Hollywood Studios, while they've started the construction, they've started tearing down the Muppets Courtyard and some of those buildings, and they're going to town on that stuff. There is no date or even year yet shared for an opening of Monsters Inc. land. I think a lot of people after D23 just heard 2027, and they had that locked in their head that that's when all of the lands are going to open is 2027, and that is not necessarily the case. Monsters Inc. land does not have a year tied to an opening date. Same goes at Magic Kingdom for the Cars Land. I'm calling it Cars Land. I don't think that'll be called that, but the new Cars area, no date, no year yet. It's TBD. Same thing for Villains Land. That's also TBD. So if I were a betting guy, which I'm not, the fact that they can tell us 2027 for Central Americas at Animal Kingdom, knowing that they started that a little bit earlier, and they have no dates and no years listed behind Hollywood Studios or Magic Kingdom, my gut tells me those are going to be 2028 or maybe even 2029. Don't hold me to that, but that's just a gut feel on my part. Quick news. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin is now closed at the Magic Kingdom for a significant refurbishment. It will reopen sometime in 2026. Again, sometime tells me it's not going to be in the first part of the year. It's probably going to be maybe closer to summertime, if I had to guess. New opening scene, redesigned ride vehicles, handheld lasers. You won't be attached to the thing anymore. Interactive targets, and then again, it's going to reopen in sometime in 2026. If you're an annual pass holder, they just announced new annual pass holder magnets that you can get in the park starting August 7th. You must be present. You have to show ID. If you have family members that are annual pass holders, they have to be present. You cannot get theirs. They're also offering a special annual pass holder drink that starts then as well. Disney just launched all of the Halloween merchandise either Sunday or yesterday. So you might start seeing some of that information out on social media. Everything's always amazing. Everything that they offer is always more spectacular than my bank account can handle. But it is what it is. Jessica, thank you. And good to see you, by the way. Let's see here. Last but not least, Animal Kingdom Lodge. If you are a fan of staying at that resort, they are starting room refurbishments in October of this year. They will carry into 2026. So keep that in mind. All right, Anthony, before we get into games, Anthony made the comment that we are now in double digits. So several of us are going to be down at Disney in November for the Park Life Party. The party itself is November 13th, 14th, and 15th. It's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If you haven't made plans to be there and you can be there and want to be there, those are the dates, the 13th, 14th, and 15th. I'd love to work with you and book your trip. Not required. If you know somebody that's an agent, you're comfortable with them, by all means, I totally get that. But we are, for some of us, are arriving on the 11th. Some are arriving on the 12th. We are now inside of 100 days until we arrive. And Anthony, I'm going to scroll back to reread your comment so I don't mess this up. Yeah, so Anthony had said, CC, and kind of what I'd said, that most of the characters could go to Galaxy's Edge except for Darth. Totally agree. Anthony, you said, man, it was way back there. With us being officially in double digits, what should I start preparing for? So some folks like Jessica might say they're already packing. I'm not quite that far into it, but there is something about once you go from 3-digit countdown to 2-digit that you feel like you're now, it's like you're on the conveyor belt at the airport. Instead of having to walk, you're on that thing and you're moving quite twice as fast, because there are things like at 60 days out, which now we're less than 40 days from that, 60 days out to book dining. If you're going to do any dining booking, if you're going to do any magical extras, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, or drone, or making a droid, or doing the lightsaber build, any of those things, 60 days out, you're booking that stuff. If you're like me, you're starting to think about, I've already started doing this, which day are we going to go to which park? And so I'll kind of lay out what I think my itinerary is going to look like. We fly in on the 11th. We probably get to our resort around 6 p.m. if I had to guess. So we'll get checked in, unload our stuff, probably go to Disney Springs for dinner. So on the 11th, if anybody's around and wants to hang out for dinner, we're probably going to go to Disney Springs. Hey, Robert, welcome in. We're probably going to go to Disney Springs for dinner. On the 12th, Magic Kingdom is going to be where I'm going to go to. For me, I just feel like that's the park I got to go to for the first day. I'm totally eager and excited about the nighttime parade. Jessica, yes, we're going to meet you guys on the 12th. We'll take a break from the park and get over there. Shane, hey, how are you, buddy? I bet you've been enjoying the weather the last few days. It's been incredibly comfortable and cool here. So 12th, Magic Kingdom, I got to see the parade, the nighttime parade. On Thursday, the 13th, since we're doing the meet and greet at Disney Springs that night, I'm going to do Animal Kingdom that day. That just seems to make sense for that park on that day, since it won't be a long park day, since we have that stuff going on in the evening at Disney Springs. And then we'll have the get together at Disney Springs, probably head over there around 5-ish, I'm guessing, to grab dinner. I don't know if we'll go to the Polite Pig or Deluxe Burger or someplace like that. Maybe Earl of Sandwich, something casual, grab dinner, and then we'll all meet up. And hopefully they have the Christmas tree stroll going. They're doing it again this year. My guess is it'll be going, but we'll have a good time at Disney Springs that evening. Friday the 14th is Magic Kingdom Day for us. We'll hang out there, and then several of us have bought Christmas party tickets for that night, so we will be doing that. Okay, Dina said, do we know if Christmas Stroll will be up that Thursday? I saw a post that it might not be until the 14th. So, Dina, here's what's kind of goofy to me. Disney made this big announcement that Christmas would be coming to Disney on the 14th of November. And then 3 days later, they announced the dates of the holiday parties. And everybody was freaking out. The 14th, oh my God, that's going to be so late for the very first Christmas party. Well, the first Christmas party is November 7th at Magic Kingdom and November 8th at Hollywood Studios. And so I think there's going to be some things that are there. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, Dina, that the Christmas tree stroll will be up by that Thursday, because I'd love to see it. And if it's not, we'll all have a good time and enjoy ourselves. So, Robert, there's a McDonald's on the Disney World property. It's not in one of the parks, but there is a massive McDonald's on the Disney property inside the bubble. It's huge, and I think it's 100% solar powered, if I'm not mistaken. Love that place. Yeah, Tina, I wish that the candlelight would start earlier. However, it's still food and wine, and they've still got the concert series going on at Epcot. And Anthony's going to remind me who we're going to see on Saturday at Epcot. It's, gosh dang it, Anthony, you told me last week, and I can't remember. Thank you. Bowling for Soup. For those of us that are going to be there, Saturday is our Epcot day. Saturday night, Bowling for Soup is performing. I think they have 3 shows in the American Pavilion right there, right off the water. So that'll be exciting. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, on Monday, the Beach Boys are there performing. So kind of cool. Yeah, Brandon Fraser is one of the narrators this year. Exactly right. That's right, Tina. So anyway, so that's where my head right now, Anthony, is which day am I going to go to which park? We'll have park hopper tickets. So I have to decide, are we going to park hop in any of those days? And if so, what's my strategy going to be? That sort of stuff. I know I'm going to book a couple of dining experiences for us, places that we absolutely love and haven't been to in the last couple of trips at Epcot. So on that Saturday when we're all there, I'm pretty sure we're going to do it on that Saturday. Might be another night. We're going to do dinner at Teppanyaki, which is the hibachi style restaurant in Japan. Yep, Tina, you knew it, Teppanyaki. She asked that before I even said it. So that is a hibachi style restaurant. It's kind of like Kobe Steakhouse or Benihana, if you have one of those in and around your town. If any of you are going to be there and have an interest in wanting to do that dinner, reach out to me and I can add your party count to our reservation. Food is great. The show is great. They do a wonderful job there. And I always try to schedule that dinner around 6:30, maybe 7, so that when we're done eating, we walk out and we're right there ready within 30 minutes to watch Luminous. And sometimes we watch it from that second level on the deck there, which is pretty cool. So we're going to do dinner there. And then I know we're also planning on doing 50s Primetime Cafe for lunch at Hollywood Studios. It's a sit-down reservation restaurant, really reasonable prices. I usually get like the pot roast, so you get the hunk of meat and potatoes and carrots and whatever for like $25, I think, something like that. Fun environment. It's set back in the 1950s. You get scolded if you have your elbows on the table. You get scolded if you have your phone out. They kind of harass if you don't clean your plate. It's all in good fun. If you do clean your plate, you get a sticker. I have my sticker right here. I'll show you guys here if you can see that. Official member Clean Plate Club. And there it is there. I have to probably flip the thing around if you guys see it, but that's the sticker you get. It's kind of fun. Ooh, Tina says the Brown Derby Cobb salad is amazing. I've never eaten at Brown Derby before. So Anthony, that's kind of where I'm at with the stuff. I figure I have between now and say 61 days out to really solidify which park on which days so that I can make the dining reservations that we want to make. And again, if anybody's interested in joining us for any of those, reach out to me and we'll get that worked out. I can tell you we're figuring out what we're doing for shirts for the different park days. My wife makes all of our shirts. I have a couple of mine lying here, actually. I just grabbed two. They're laying here. So I'll hold them up. She did this one for this last time we were down there. Probably a better shot with the shirt and not me, right? So Epcot was one of them that she did. And then this was Hollywood Studios. So I know we'll have a Christmas shirt to wear for the party. And we'll have shirts for every day. I'm certain of that. Don't know that we'll have matching shirts. We did that one trip when it was just her and I. We went for our anniversary one year. We have never done shirts ever. And she stopped asking because the answer was always no. The boys didn't want to do it. And I wasn't going to push the envelope. So never brought it up. So we booked this trip to go for our anniversary. I think it was our 30th anniversary. And I said to her, hey, what do you think about getting matching shirts? It was probably a good thing that she was sitting down when I suggested it, because she probably would have passed out and fallen over and hit her head. She was stunned that I suggested it. And so we did matching shirts for that trip. Each day our shirts matched. It might have been Mickey and Minnie, that sort of thing, but we had matching shirts. Last couple times we didn't have matching shirts, but we had shirts. Jessica, I don't know if Lori's in here right now. Yeah, Jessica, I can mention that to her and we can try to work something out. So anyway, so that's kind of where my head is, Anthony. Your question about being in double digits and what should we be doing. I'm not one to start packing right away, but start planning, shirts, that sort of thing. So I know what I'm going to have, what I'm going to wear. One of the big, Lori keeps saying this to me. I wish I knew what the weather was going to be. I wish I knew what the weather was going to be. I mean, yeah, it's still Florida, right? It's November. It could be in the 80s. It could be 90 while we're down there. It could be in the 70s and then chilly in the evenings. So planning to bring a couple of long sleeves just in case, but primarily short sleeves is what I'm planning. I might bring one pair of pants, and it might be sweatpants at that, because I'm not into wearing jeans at the park. It's too dang hot, even though it's chilly out. But outside of that, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Pack light hoodie for the early mornings and late nights. Exactly. Now I'll tell you, it'll be 2 years ago this December. We were down there for like 5 days. And I packed 2 or 3 long sleeve shirts. I packed my one and only Spirit jersey that I have is from Animal Kingdom. It's up with Kevin on it. Love it. I don't think I wore it. So that was our grandson was like 4 months old at the time. And we got matching shirts that Lori made. They were long sleeve. They were a beige colored kind of waffle fabric material. And mine said Papa on it and hers said Gigi on it. And it was like plaid Christmas colored lettering. We took those down there and we didn't need our long sleeve shirts because it was 90 degrees almost every doggone day down there. And I had to buy a couple short sleeve shirts because I didn't pack enough short sleeve shirts. Tina, last minute packer. There's some things I'll do last minute, but if I can pre-plan the outfits for the days, I'll do that 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, something like that. At least in my head or on paper, I'll have it planned that way. I might not actually lay the clothes out till about a week or so before. But I don't like to do very last minute packing. Good walking shoes, Anthony. Yes. So that's a great comment to make. If you need good walking shoes, first off, I'm not going to tell you what brand because everybody's foot is different. I don't like to do that. All I can tell you is don't wait and buy them the week before and plan on breaking them in down there. Get them in the next month or two and start walking before we ever go so that y'all are ready for the ridiculous amount of walking that we'll do when we're down there. I have a couple pair of Hokas that I love. Hey, Jordan, just requested a quote. Oh, perfect. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. I will get to that. I have a couple pair of Hokas that I love. I'll bring those. And I'm actually thinking about maybe looking at a pair of Skechers. We have a new Skechers store that opened up in the plaza that we have here in our town. So I'm going to go check that out and see if I find something that I like. Start buying my Disney Amazon list. There you go. Jessica, you have a brand, you'll recommend it? Go for it. Yeah, Dina, I love my Hokas too. Absolutely love them. Tina, you are a weirdo and wear flip-flops, but can't wear sneakers. So Tina, I'm going to separate all of that because a lot of people wear flip-flops and don't like to wear sneakers. Lori doesn't like to wear sneakers. You, my dear, are a weirdo because you love Mission Space. That's all we have to say about that. Jessica says, Brooks. I've heard a lot of good things about Brooks. I vacay every day. Hello there. I wear Brooks when you park hop. Yeah, I've heard good things about Brooks too. What did I say? Oh, did I say Plaza? And what do you say? Plaza? I don't know. Sometimes I'm not sure that my brain and my tongue work in sync with one another, so I'm not sure what I'm actually saying, but I don't know. Do I say Plaza? Maybe sometimes I do. It's kind of like, is it Pirates of the Caribbean or Pirates of the Caribbean? I say Pirates of the Caribbean, but I stay at the Caribbean Beach Resort. So I say them differently based on the context around it. See, Blake, Tina is a weirdo. There you go. Tina, I appreciate you putting that in there. Thank you very much. So I said Pirates of the Caribbean, but I don't say Caribbean Beach Resort. I say Caribbean Beach Resort. And if I were to go on vacation there, I would be going on vacation to the Caribbean. I would not say that I was going to the vacationing in the Caribbean. So that's one of those words that I think can go different ways. Weird, I know. So Shane, you say Plaza? We're from the same area, yes. Shane and I've never met Shane. Maybe he stalked me, I don't know. But Shane, we probably live, 10 miles away from each other, 15 miles away from each other, something ridiculously close in the grand scheme of social media. But yeah, that's funny. You say Plaza, I say Plaza. Visits you in your slumber. I don't slumber. I lumber because, I'm slow and lazy. But Tina is very, very unique. Yes, she is. All right, you guys ready to play games? Let's go. Let's play games. You get your pen and paper. We're going to do rank them. Project Loop, welcome in. Good timing. We're getting ready to play games. Get your pen and paper, pencil and paper, crayon and paper, whatever you got. Marker to draw on your arm, whatever it is you got. We're going to, Ava's got pen and paper ready to go. Blake, your daughter's ready to play? Oh, yeah. I gotcha. Yeah. Now, Shane and I met on social media like I did with all of you guys, but then come to find out that, yeah, we pretty much live within, like I said, 15, 20 miles of one another, I think. Pretty sure of that. Okay. Blake said you're ready to go. Tina, I know you said you got pen and paper ready to go. Awesome. All right, so here we go. So if you weren't with us last week, we ranked from worst to first the rides at the Magic Kingdom and the rides at Epcot. And I gave you all of the rides. You wrote them all down. And I had you tell me, so like, for instance, if there were 21 rides at Magic Kingdom, I said, all right, what is ride number 21, your lowest ranked ride? And we went through there. Everybody gave them. And we were close on a lot of them, within one or two or three for a lot of those. So we're going to do Hollywood Studios first. So I'll read off the rides in no particular order, and then we'll do ranking. So if you're ready, here we go. So start right now. For Hollywood Studios, there are 9 rides. The first one is Star Tours. Second one is Rise of the Resistance, or if you want to just write Rise, whatever works for you, or the initials. The third is Millennium Falcon. I put M Falcon because I'm lazy. The fourth ride, to continue my laziness, Alien Swirling Saucer. I just wrote down Alien. Seriously? So Shane just said, funny thing is, he randomly knows people who are friends with my wife, Lori, because he's seen them tag her. That's really funny, Shane. That's really funny. So my wife owns her own business. She has a pop-up shop for crafts and things like that. What the hell is the name of her shop? It's in Brentwood Square in La Vista. Good Lord, I can't even look. My brain is so whacked out tonight. But yeah, that's so funny, Shane. Okay, Toy Story Mania is next. And then after that one is Slinky. You can probably tell I did these clockwise. After Slinky, I've got Mickey Minnie, Runaway Railway. I just put Mickey Minnie. And then Tower of Terror, or TOT, as I did. And then to continue my laziness, I wrote down Rockin'. So Rockin' Roller Coaster is the last one. I guess you could do RNR if you wanted to. So those are the 9 rides. I'm going to go worst to first. What is ride number 9 in your rankings of the rides at Hollywood Studios? Don't be shy, everybody play. Tina says Star Tours. Helen says Tower of Terror. I can imagine if you are a 0 fan of Tower of Terror, that might be your number 9. I totally get that. Dina says Star Tours. Blake says Alien. Now, Blake, is that you saying that? What are your daughter's answers? And if you don't want to say your daughter's names, you can just say, daughter 1, daughter 2, whatever works. Cece said, Star Tours for you, Cece. I'm shocked that you pick a Star Wars ride to be number 9. Wow. Ooh, Project Loop has not been on any Toy Story rides. Wow. Shane goes with Aliens. Blake says they don't like Aliens either. Okay, number 9 for me was Alien Swirling Saucer. I love the ride. It's cute. But if I got to rank these from first to worst or worst to first, that one's the bottom. I know. Isn't that crazy, Tina, that CC picked Star Tours? All right, let's keep going. Number 8. So, Blake, you and your daughters and I match with Aliens for number 9. What do you guys have for your number 8 ride in the rankings? Dina says Aliens. Helen says Rock and Roller Coaster. I figured, Helen, if you picked Tower of Terror. Tina, you and Ava say Aliens. Yeah, I knew when you said RR, I knew you meant Rock and Roller Coaster, Helen. What do you got, Shane, for your number 8? Jessica, where are you? Why aren't you playing? Blake says Millennium Falcon. Blake, how about your daughters? What do they say? Shane says Star Tours, I suppose. This is tough. I like them all. It is, right? I mean, I felt bad ranking rides 18, 19, 20, 21 at Magic Kingdom. Jordan says Star Tours. The girls agree with Blake. Okay, girls, blink twice if your dad's making you say the same answer. Just kidding. Just kidding. Blake and girls, Millennium Falcon was my number 8 as well. All right, let's keep going. Number 7. What do you have for number 7? This is where, to me, it gets like somebody's going to give an answer, and somebody's going to be like, I can't believe you said that. Can't believe you had that ranked that low. Tina says Slinky for her and Ava. Tower of Terror for Dina. What do you say, Shane? Jordan, what do you got? We are on number 7. Toy Story Mania for Cece. My number 7 is Slinky Dog Dash. Cute ride. I enjoy it. To me, it's one of those rides that's not worth the wait, though. Kind of like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Peter Pan. Smuggler's Run for Jordan. I had that one as number 8. Yeah, I agree with you. Tina, yes, we matched. Helen said I didn't write down choices, but probably Mania. Okay. All right, let's go to number 6. What is your 6th most favorite or 6th least favorite, whichever, however you want to look at that, ranking 9 to 1. So what is ride number 6 for you? Slinky for Helen. Millennium Falcon for Dina. Shane has, Jordan says Rockin', and Shane has Mania for number 6. Mania for Tina. Rise for Ava. Ava. Blake, Toy Story Mania. How about the girls? Project Luke says Rockin'. My number 6 is Star Tours. It hurts to say that because I love the ride, but there were 5 better to me. All right, let's go number 5. What is your number 5? We're in the top 5 now. Your number 5 ranked ride at Hollywood Studios. Luke says Falcon. Blake says this is tough. They're all great. We're working together. Okay. Helen has Aliens, Swirling Saucers. Dina says Rock and Roller Coaster. Tina, yours is Rise. Ava is Falcon. Shane says 5, Rockin'. Jordan has Tower of Terror. Cece says Smuggler's Run. Wow. Cece has 2 of the 3 Star Wars rides in the bottom 4. There's only 9, but my number 5, Rock and Roller Coaster. All right, let's go. Number 4. Got to keep looking here. I might have to postpone one of my games for next week. Blake says Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway for number 4. Project Loop says Rise of the Resistance. Mickey Minnie's for Jordan. Cece says Runaway Railway. Runaway for Shane for number 4. Falcon for Tina. Ava says Mickey. Helen says Falcon because I always get Kid Pilot. My number 4 is Toy Story Mania. All right, here we go. Top 3. What is number 3 on your list of Hollywood Studios? Project Loop says Runaway Railway. Dina says Slinky. Ava and Tina both say Tower of Terror for number 3. Smuggler's Run says Shane for his number 3. Helen says Star Tours. Cece says Alien Swirling Saucers. Look at that. I got to be honest, though, Cece. I truly assumed your 1, 2, and 3, in no particular order, was going to be Rise of the Resistance, Smuggler's Run, and Star Tours. My number 3 is Tower of Terror. All right, here we go. Your first runner-up, your number 2 ride at Hollywood Studios. What do you got? Mickey and Minnie says Helen. Dina says Rise for number 2. Rise for Jordan for number 2. Star Tours Project Loop. Blake says Rise. Tina is Rockin'. Ava is Mickey. Shane, what do you got for number 2? Got to depend on the day, but he'll say Tower of Terror too. Okay. My number 2 is Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway. That leaves number 1. What is your number 1 ride at Hollywood Studios? Cece says Tower of Terror. Project Loop says Tower of Terror. Dina says Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway. Shane says Rise for number 1. Cece says Rise of the Resistance. 100%, 100%, 100%. Blake, Tower. Oldest says Tower. Youngest says Mickey Minnie's. Yes, Helen, we're on number 1. Rise for her number 1. I got to move my puzzle piece here on the TikTok screen. Here we go. Jordan, Toy Story Mania, especially when it's a walk-on. You better believe that. My number 1 is Rise of the Resistance. I think it is the most amazing experience of an attraction. Not just a ride, it's an experience. I love it. Okay. Hollywood Studios is in the books. Let's go Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom, there's only 6 right now. There's only 6 rides at Animal Kingdom. So, obviously, you probably figured this out. I'm a clockwise guy. So, clockwise, your rides to write down. Navi, the Navi River ride in Pandora. So, I just wrote down Navi. Well, Tina, you can't say Great Movie Ride because they don't have that anymore. I don't know that would have been my number 1 either, but I do love that. Maybe one of these times we'll rank all of the extinct rides. That'd be fun. Okay, Navi, Flight of Passage. I get sidetracked. So I just wrote on FOP, Flight of Passage. Safari. If you're so bold, you can write down Kilimanjaro Safari, but I just wrote down Safari. Next is Cali River Rapids, or I just wrote down Cali. After that, you have Everest. And then the last one that's still in existence for at least another few more months is Dinosaur. All right, number 6. What is your number 6 ride at Animal Kingdom? You got those 6 rides? What's number 6? Shane says Navi is last. Helen says Navi. Tina says Navi. That was an easy one for Shane. Dina says Cali. Blake, they all agree on Navi. Project Loop says Flight of Passage is your number 6. Wow. Oh, that's like Tina saying Mission Space is her favorite. Everest for Jordan, not big into roller coasters. I totally understand that. Number 6 for me, Dina, ding, ding, ding. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Cali River Rapids is what I put down for my number 6. Let's go number 5. Helen said Everest is 6 for her. I had a feeling on that one, Helen. So number 5, Blake, Cali, we all agree for number 5. Tina says Flight of Passage for her number 5. Cali is number 5 for Shane. Jordan is Cali. Dina is Navi. Dina, you and I match again. This is going to be interesting to see how we do here. Project Loop says Safari number 5. Wow. Project Loop drops Flight of Passage number 6 and Safari number 5. Woo! Wow. That's the beauty of this. So I love this. All right, let's keep going. Number 4. What do you got for number 4? I think almost all of us had Cali and Navi 5, 6, 6, 5. Blake, Flight of Passage. Girls say Safari. You're disowned today. Dina says Dinosaur. Tina says Callie. Jordan says Callie. Shane, what is number 4 for you? Helen says probably Callie. She's never written it, but she'll probably say Callie. Shane says Safari. Jordan says Dinosaur. Number 4 for me, Dina. We've matched all 3 so far. I said Dinosaur. Jordan, you and I matched with Dinosaur. Dina, this is getting real interesting now, isn't it? We're 3 for 3 with 3 to go. All right, we are now into your top 3. What is ride number 3 in your ranking? Tina says Dinosaur. Project Loop says River Rapids. Callie, River Rapids. Jordan says Navi. Helen says Dinosaur. Dina says the Safari. Dina, this is where we part ways. I have Everest. Shane says Everest for number 3. I have Everest for my number 3. Helen says Dinosaur, but it's a tie with Safari. So I guess pick one of those for 3, and the other one will be number 2 for you, Helen. So yeah, I had Everest for my number 3. So Dina, we still have a chance to match again here. So let's go to number 2. What is your number 2 ride at Animal Kingdom? Shane said Everest. I think I said that. Tina says Everest. Project Loop says Dinosaur. Dina says Everest. Well, we will not match there. Jordan says Safari. Shane says Dinosaur. Number 2 for me is Flight of Passage. Blake, did I get your number 2? Nope, there we go. Everest for the 3 of you. Very cool. All right, what's your number 1? Oh, I forgot to do this like we did last week. You're supposed to tell me what's number 1 and why. I totally blew that. We won't go backwards, but for Animal Kingdom, your number 1 and why is it number 1 for you? So Tina says Safari. Luke says Everest. Dina says Flight of Passage. Tina says Love the Animals. Helen, Flight of Passage. It's amazing. Blake, Dinosaur for all 3 of you. Shane says Flight of Passage number 1. Jordan says Safari number 1. Or no, sorry. Jordan says Flight of Passage. Best overall immersive experience, says Shane. My number 1 is the Safari. I know, Tina, you said Love the Animals. I love the fact that each time you ride it, it's a different experience. I mean, you could ride it back to back and it's a different experience. The animals might be doing something different. The interaction with them might be something different. Project Loop, forever, you're surprised at the air you get. And the solo line, yeah, the single rider line is amazing for Everest. I would agree with that. Now, question, when you're in the mountain and you go backwards and it's like total darkness, is it just me or does anybody's stomach get the sense that it feels like you went upside down even though you didn't? Yes, Tina, all the baby animals. Exactly. Going backwards on that little stretch, I feel like I'm going upside down for just a brief moment. And then it's like, wait a minute, I don't have bars over my shoulders. And then I remember I'm not going upside down. That's why no Everest for you, Helen. I get that. Blake says he gets sick on Everest. My wife will not ride Everest ever. So if it's just her and I there, I either have to skip it or I go ride it and I feel bad that she's waiting outside. She won't do Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's like, I feel bad making her wait for both, but I'm not giving up Guardians. So she'll wait for that one for me. Okay. That was fun. Jordan, Flight of Passage number 1 because it feels the most immersive, but wish I could skip the pre-show. Sometimes the pre-show, the whole time there, it seems like it takes forever. Tina, Everest made Love Bug cry the first time, but now she loves it. She was 5 then. Okay. Yeah, Helen, if you're not digging Everest, I don't know that you want to do Guardians. I've seen more people comment about being sick after Guardians than I ever did Everest. The guy. Exactly, Shane. That's funny. All right. Blake, my youngest passed out last year, but going to try it again on our upcoming trip. Passed out on Everest or on Guardians? Helen, I don't like drops. Okay, yeah. There's not. So Guardians doesn't have any big drops. So Everest to me is more of a traditional roller coaster. You have the ups and downs. Guardians, I don't think you have that. It's the swiveling. Yeah, exactly, Luke. Guardians and to me, Tron, no big drops, no big roller coaster traditional drops. So, okay, I'm gonna get you. We're already an hour in, so we're not gonna get both of these last games done. So I'll save one for next week. But I'm gonna let you guys vote. Tony, Everest can shake your head around, but it's awesome. I just got to keep your head back. Yeah, Tony, you're right there. And welcome in. Thanks for joining. Tron was too fast. It scared me, said Helen. I love how smooth it is, though. Guardians actually made Scream, and then Ava and I looked at each other and bought a lightning lane. I love that. That is awesome. Okay, so we can do. I have two games. One of them I'm going to hold till next week. So we're going to do one more game, and then let all of you go for tonight, and we'll save the other game. But I'll let you guys vote on which one you want to do. I have to be as non-descriptive as I can because I don't want to give it away. We can do one more rank 'em. I'm not going to tell you the category. One more rank 'em, or we can do a pick 'em, where I'm going to give you a scenario and then categories, and you get to pick your answer. So if you want to do one more rank 'em, put a 1. If you want to do the pick 'em, put a 2. And I don't care either way. I'll keep track of the votes, and whichever one gets the most, that's what we will do. So Dina with the 1, Luke with the 2, Tina with the 2. Shane with the 1. Blake with the 2. Now, Blake, is that 3 2s or just 1 2? Jordan with the 2. Blake 2 2 2. Ava says 2. All right, the 2s win. So for those that voted 1, we'll do rank them on that category next week. I'm not going to tell you the category because I like the spur of the moment gut reaction from you. So we're going to do I'm calling it pick 'em, but now I get to tell you what it is. You wake up tomorrow morning and you are CEO for the day at Disney World. You're the CEO of the Disney World complex. And I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7 different categories for you to think about and provide an answer. So you wake up tomorrow morning, you're the CEO of Disney World. Name a new ride that you would add. Now you can do just one ride, period. Tell me which park. Or if you want to come up with a ride for each park, you can do that. I don't care. But that's your first CEO requirement is a new ride that you would put in. Damien Wolf, welcome in. Damien says Lion King Disneyland. I like that. The Lion King Disneyland. I will give my answers while you guys think about yours. And when you have them, put them in the chat, either on TikTok or on YouTube. I did one for each park. So at Magic Kingdom, Blake said Rapunzel at Magic Kingdom. Blake, I had initially wrote down Rapunzel ride at Magic Kingdom. And then I decided, you know what? If I'm only going to pick one at the park. Jordan said Beauty and the Beast ride from Tokyo. That'd be cool. I'm going to put in a Big Hero 6 ride in Tomorrowland at Magic Kingdom. So that'd be my new ride at Magic Kingdom. Project Loop says an Aladdin ride like the new Peter Pan in Asia. That's very cool. At Epcot, I want a Mary Poppins ride in the UK pavilion or a bullet train coaster in Japan. Tina wants a roller coaster at Magic Kingdom called Dragon Fury, and you are on Maleficent's back as a dragon. That is awesome. I love that. Very creative, Tina. Love that. Anthony wants to bring back Stitch's Great Escape. There you go. That you can do that. They should totally make Rock and Roller Coaster Big Hero 6. Blake, I would love that. Okay, let's see here. At Hollywood Studios, I want a Phineas and Ferb ride. What it would be, I don't know, but I want a Phineas and Ferb ride. Could be a roller coaster. Helen says anything Stitch. At Animal Kingdom, I would love, and again, I just didn't come up with what the ride would be, but a ride themed around the movie Up. Since you can see Kevin there, and sometimes Doug and Mr. Fredrickson are there, I think a ride for Up would be pretty cool. Shane said an Aladdin carpet ride escaping the Cave of Wonders. That would be awesome. I like that. Dina, did I lose you? I don't think I said Dina's answer. Dina, if you're still with us, what is your answer? She's thinking, okay, good. I'm like, I know you picked one and we did two. I was hoping you didn't give up and leave. So I'm glad you're still with us. This is fun though, isn't it, to do this? You get to be CEO for a day. I got other categories where you're picking for CEO over the day. Project Loop asks, how do you come up with these games? They're always fun. So Project Loop, I think if I were to go see a medical doctor or a scientist, they'd probably tell you that I have a couple of screws loose. And when I tilt my head just in a certain way, they rub just in the right way, and I come up with these goofball things. I'm always thinking about weird stuff. And so I come up with this. Tina says, Disney Animal Kingdom, I want a show for the Disney animals. Dina, okay, I want to say a water roller coaster theme, Lilo and Stitch or Moana. I love that. That's amazing, Dina. That's so cool. I love that. Yeah, Loop, exactly. I'm weird that way. I think of bizarre things. I have so much useless knowledge in my head, very little useful knowledge. Okay, category number 2. Again, your CEO for the day. What one, you can only pick one, and you can do it per park. What one ride would you eliminate at any of the 4 parks or at each of them, however you want to do it? Helen, I love the Animal Kingdom show on Disney Plus. On Animal Planet, they have Animal Kingdom show there. I love watching that stuff. Okay, you're shutting down a ride or an attraction at any of the 4 parks or one in each of the 4 parks. Blake at Magic Kingdom is getting rid of Speedway. Mission Space says Jordan. Jordan with the win. I picked Mission Space at Epcot as well. Jordan for mine. Tina, oh my God. At Magic Kingdom, Tina is getting rid of Pirates of the Caribbean. At Epcot, she's getting rid of Living with the Land. At Animal Kingdom, she's getting rid of Navi. And at Hollywood Studios, she's getting rid of Star Tours. Tina, you're killing me. Killing me. I got a Mission Space from Dina, a Mission Space from Helen. Project Loop with a big old ouch. Shane's getting rid of the Hall of Presidents. So at Magic Kingdom, I had 2 down. My Magic Carpets is one. I like to call them the tragic carpets because they squeak so dang bad. The other one, which isn't really a ride, it's more of an attraction, but the Swiss Family Robinson Tree, the tree house, they can get rid of that. Helen wants to get rid of all the big roller coasters. Yeah, Shane said Mission Space and Speedway for sure. Didn't think of those. Jordan says, Tina, Pirates and Living with the Land are amazing. No kidding, Jordan. But we're still kind of, Tina, we invite her to come back each time, even though we know she's crazy. Oh, Tony from Connecticut shoots out Figment in Epcot is gone. Hollywood Studios, because there's only, the 9 rides, I had to pick Alien Swirling Saucer to get rid of. In Animal Kingdom, I picked Cali River Rapids. Ooh, Project Loop would like to alter Smuggler's Run, too. 2 distractions you enjoy, and only the pilots are really doing anything. I hear you there. Okay. Next one. Name one new show you would like to add. It may not necessarily be you're going to tell me exactly what the show is and what they do, but a new show you would like to add. Disneyac, welcome back if you just came back. You are CEO for the day, Disneyac. And the category is, what one new show would you like to add? So I wrote down two things, and one really isn't a show; it's more of an experience. But and if Cece, if you're still with me, I know you buy into this. Bring back the March of the Stormtroopers at Hollywood Studios, especially have them march through Galaxy's Edge. You can absolutely do that. Helen says something inside with classic characters at Magic Kingdom. Katie, hi, how are you? You are CEO for the day, Katie, at Disney World. What is one new show you'd like to see added? Shane, well, they already added back the nighttime parade, so I have to think about that one. Yep, exactly. Got to come up with something else. Blake, Nightmare Before Christmas could stretch it from Halloween to Christmas. You could absolutely do that. Tina, Animal Kingdom Service Animals, Hollywood Studios behind the scenes with Walt. Ooh, that's cool. Magic Kingdom Princess Show, Epcot Illuminations to come back. Yes, yes, yes. Please bring back Illuminations. And while you're at it, bring back Wishes at Magic Kingdom. So I did the March of the Stormtroopers, but add a new water show at Animal Kingdom. You have the seating right there in that big pond area. It's perfect setup. Just add a new water show there, please. Project Loop says an interactive and immersive Alice in Wonderland experience. I like that. That's very cool. So that's the show. Next one. Name one new restaurant or at least new cuisine you'd add at Disney World. So again, you're CEO for the day, restaurant you'd like to add. Jordan said nightly drone show. Yes, I don't know why they didn't bring the drone show back to Disney Springs. Katie would have a Figment restaurant. There you go, Katie. Project Loop, a Korean pavilion. So you're going to have a Korean restaurant there. That's perfect. Jordan, I do like the nightly drone show answer. Absolutely. I don't know why they didn't bring it back this year. Helen, I think because of the big accident in downtown Orlando killed all the drone shows. That could be. All right, my restaurant. And Dina, I haven't seen your answer yet. Blake, the Snuggly Duckling. I knew what you meant, Helen. Dina, Immersion Tiana's restaurant in Magic Kingdom right by the ride. There you go. I like that. My restaurant is going to be, let's say, Tina, Disney Hollywood Studios Lightsaber Bars Chocolate, Animal Kingdom Animals Poop Brownies, Epcot Small Apps from each pavilion. Oh, I like that. Magic Kingdom Snuggly Duckling. Shane, Filipino cuisine. Since I'm part Filipino and love the food, that's awesome. Disney, I, by the way, agree with you about Illuminations. It was so emotional. Yes, yes. And it's so silly, but at the very, very beginning, before the show really starts, they have those torches lit up, and the guy who does the narrating goes, and all the torches blow out. I mean, it's like the imagination just for something simple like that. Unbelievable. Blake says, Tina, we're friends again. Okay, my cuisine, if you want to call it that, a 24/7 breakfast bash. You get breakfast foods all day long. Maybe not 24 hours a day, but 5 a.m. to midnight or something like that. Breakfast. Goosebumps, Disney Act. Man, they used to have a Goosebumps show at Hollywood Studios back when it was MGM. Love that. My kids love that. Project Loop says, oh, love that. Bring back the Polly Luau. Yes, Dina. Yes. Oh, my gosh. Yes, yes, yes. I love that Luau show. It was so amazing. And so much cheaper to go to Disney to see the Luau show than to go all the way over to Hawaii and see one. Okay. I got 3 more categories left, and then we're going to call it a night. Any new festival or holiday special that you would have come back? Shane said absolutely in the Polly Luau. So any new festival, think Epcot, or holiday special. And holiday special could be at any of the parks. I got an answer for each one of those. I'll give celebrate the season, Project Luke says. My NBC Outside the Parties. Celebrate the season with the kids. It was so cute. Yes, Project Luke, absolutely. Jordan, I can't think of a new festival, but which festival or holidays was all of November? Yeah, well, the one problem you run into is so you wish the festival of the holidays was all of November. They have Food and Wine that runs up to like the week before Thanksgiving. But I agree with you. I would move Christmas up earlier. I mean, no offense if you love Halloween at all, because I love Halloween. But Halloween, from a party standpoint, gets more pub than Christmas does. Halloween party starts in the middle of August and goes till the end of October. It's 2.5 months. The Christmas party starts middle of November, ends the middle of December. It gets a month. It gets like 5 weeks. Is it? Yep. Helen said Nightmare Before Christmas. Tina says Mickey Very Merry Christmas Party. Want to do a Snope experience where you can meet the characters and do interactive games. Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam at Hollywood Studios. I loved that, Dina, when they had that. I absolutely loved that. Jordan, right? But there has been no festival for 2 months at Epcot. Start Food and Wine sooner and end sooner. I would agree with that. Here was what I wrote down. For my festival, between Flower and Garden and Food and Wine, have a Schools Out Festival. Celebration of kids. Kids are out of school for the summer. Make it more about the kids. You still have your food booths, but have kid snacks, kid treats, have kid drinks, fun things like that. And have candlelight earlier too, Tina. I agree with you on that. So that was my festival idea, was a summer one, Schools Out Festival. Have the food booths there, but have kid design snacks and drinks. And then for me, from a holiday special, do a week of Easter at Animal Kingdom. You have your Easter egg hunts at all the resorts the whole week long. Have a special Easter parade at Animal Kingdom every day for that week. VB's, first off, welcome in. And yes, dear Lord, VB said bring back Osborne Family Lights at Hollywood Studios. Oh, man. I could sit there for hours and absolutely love that show. Gosh, yes. I really thought, and that I understood why they had to close it down, because they tore out the streets in New York and did Galaxy's Edge. Totally get it. You're telling me they couldn't figure out a way to set up the Osborne Family Lights at Disney Springs? I mean, if you were a shop owner at Disney Springs, wouldn't you want that? I mean, think of the crowds that would come, and then they're going to shop. I thought that was a big loss. Big miss, too. Okay. Last two categories. Then we're going to wrap it up for tonight. Disney X said, bring back the parades at Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom. Absolutely. And while you're at it, bring back the parade that Epcot used to have once upon a day. Helen, Mike, did you hear the castle got hit by lightning today, not the race car? No, I don't think I heard that. But I know they have lightning rods all over the parks to make it as safe as possible. Project Loop, you thought that attraction was at Universal? What, the Osborne Family Lights? No, it was at Hollywood Studios. And I remember the first time I ever heard Osborne Family Lights, I thought of Ozzy Osbourne. I'm like, Ozzy Osbourne and his family has Christmas lights? That seems so bizarre to me. I could believe that, Ellen. I could absolutely believe that with the strike. Okay. Second to last category. Any new resort that you would have, and what is the theme of that resort that you would add? You're going to have Disney. You're the CEO for the day. You're going to have Disney add a new resort on property. What is the resort / the theme of the resort? Helen, I think we would be surprised at how many times lightning strikes happen at any of the four parks. But if you ever look around, they have lightning rods in a number of places. Okay, Helen said she would like to see the Venetian or Asian come to life, or finish pop. Project Loop, I wish I could have seen the resort they abandoned from 1990 and 1950. Jordan, anything value or moderate, they keep building new DVC Deluxe. I hear you there, Jordan. I totally agree with you on that. Absolutely. I think definitely maybe another moderate would be good. Tina, new resort would be called Fantasy Home, where it's based off the princesses or any Disney heroine. I like that. Blake, girls say a villains themed resort. Love that. VB says no new resorts, but make more resorts available on the monorail. Okay, mine is, I don't have a name for it, but I'm going to have, so VB said maybe add the Port Orleans resorts on the monorail Epcot loop. I like that idea. That's kind of cool. Disney X said Jungle Book. I think that's fun. Shane said, oh yes, villains theme. Mine is going to be an intercontinental theme. So one building is going to be Remy's from France. One would be Moana from Motunui, or Tahiti is what the actual island that's designed after. A Germany building with Rapunzel. A Big Hero 6 San Francisco building. A Bluey building from Australia. A Mary Poppins building from the United Kingdom. 3 Caballeros from Mexico. And then Tarzan from Africa. So it'd be an intercontinental themed, each building from a different country. And each of those buildings would have their own restaurant with the cuisine that matches the country. Dina says a Frozen resort. I'm surprised they haven't done that, Dina, to be honest with you. Shane with the thumbs up. This is kind of fun, isn't it, to do this stuff? Get to just dream for a day and what you're going to do. All right, let's do the last category. Then we're going to call it quits. My gosh, we've been doing this almost an hour and a half. Tina says this is fun. Blake Ava agrees with the girls. Tina, that must be a cool idea for them to agree on it. VBs, I wonder if they'll ever do movie-themed resorts anymore after Galactic Star Cruiser not going well. Well, I think the Galactic Star Cruiser would have worked if the price tag wasn't ridiculous. I mean, that was more expensive than staying at club level at Grand Floridian or Polynesian. It was insane, the price tag. Okay, Helen, thanks for joining us. But real quick, Helen, the last category in case you want to play. What new character meet and greets would you add to the parks? So if you want to play, Helen, you can. If not, that's okay too. Yeah, the price is the problem, I think, Tina, for the Galactic Star Cruiser. I think the idea would have worked. Shane with Marvel Resort. I like that. Helen wants more Stitch. Dina with Guardians of the Galaxy Resort. I like that. Yeah, Shane, a lot of choices. Jordan says Baymax. Disney X says Jiminy, Nana, and Timothy. Let's see here. Tina wants to meet Baymax again with Hero. Marie in France, says Helen. That's a good one. VBs also says Marie back in France. Couple of minds thinking alike there. So I had Baymax on my list. And if I get my way with a new Big Hero 6 ride in Tomorrowland, perfect place to have the meet and greet. I know this one is supposed to be coming. This is a big announcement, like at the very beginning of the year, the end of last year, and they did it with the cruise ships. Blake said, Noli says Wreck-It Ralph. Very cool. But I've heard zero in the last several months, and that is Bluey is supposed to have a meet and greet at Disney World. I've heard nada. I search every week for it, and I've heard nada. So that's supposed to be coming. If they wait much longer, the Bluey craze is going to start to wear off. Yeah, Shane said to Disney, I can remember seeing Jiminy Cricket in Disney Animal Kingdom a while back. I remember when my kids were little, you could see Jiminy Cricket. We saw him at Rafiki's Planet Watch. He took the train over. We saw Jiminy Cricket over there in the building where the veterinarians are. We also saw Pocahontas there at the time. You saw something earlier today, but forget. I'll have to look, Helen, because I haven't looked this week, but last week, nothing. Wolf says Ava would like to meet Angel from Lilo and Stitch. Helen says yes, and Gan too, and Hamster Evil. So I mentioned Bluey. I would love to do a meet and greet with Huey, Dewey, and Louie. How fun would that be with Donald, his nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie? I think would be cute as could be. Project Loops, change my answer. Jiminy Cricket. Scrooge. Tina said also Scrooge. Yeah, that'd be cool. Let your conscience be your guide. I love that, Disneyac. That is awesome. And that is the end of my categories for Disney CEO for the day. We will do a rank 'em next week. I'm not going to tell you the category. I'll tell you that there are 16 things we're going to rank from worst to first. That's all the hints I'm going to give you for next week. Next Tuesday is August 12th. We're going to be halfway through August by the time we meet next week. Incredible. My 19-year-old son goes back to college a week from Friday. We take him back down on the 15th. Excited for him, happy for him. He loved University of Kansas. I know he's probably excited to get back, but obviously a little sad because I've enjoyed having him home for the summer. I know, Disneyac, isn't it nuts? Although for any of us that are going to Disney in November, each week that goes by is 1 week closer to getting there. Oh, Tina, I appreciate that. I know Tanner doesn't have a list. My mom has made a list for Tanner, and I know they've taken him shopping and done some stuff. So, but I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. All right, gang, I think that's a wrap for tonight. I really, really, really enjoy doing this with you guys, and I hope you enjoy the interaction. Helen, I'm going to mountains in November. You're going to go to the mountains? Like Big Thunder Mountain, Space Mountain, Mount Everest, those kind of mountains in November, like around 13th or the 15th? Are you dropping a hint to us, Helen? Shane, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Disneyac, thank you for joining. Every Tuesday night at this same time, 7:30 Eastern. I'll keep doing TikTok and YouTube best I can, and keep bringing games that I can think up, and have some fun like this. So I appreciate you spending about an hour and a half of your time with me tonight. I hope everybody has a great night and even better tomorrow. And when you wake up tomorrow, remember, it's a great day to be alive. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see y'all again soon. Bye, guys. Bye, everybody. Blake, see ya. Tell your girls thanks for playing. Ava, have a good night. See you guys.